Healthy Living magazine has taken to the airwaves. Straightforward and empowering talk radio, intriguing guests, upbeat call-in segments, wellspring for mind, body, and spirit. WATD is proud to present Healthy Living with Candida, editor and publisher of the Healthy Living magazine. Tune in Sunday evenings, 7 to 8, to find out about the who, what, where, and when of traditional and alternative health and wellness south of Boston and the Cape. Candida is waiting to talk with you. Call in at 781-837-4900. Now, here's WATD's Candida.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back. This is Healthy Living Radio. I'm your host, Candida, and we have Linneastarjan with us, like we do the first of, right?
Yes.
Every Sunday.
Yes. Great. Thank
you. 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in again. She'll be here February 3rd, March 2nd, and April 6th. And she's a psychic medium, and she's bringing messages of past, present, and future to our listeners here on WATD.
Yes, thank you.
How's your New Year going?
It's great. Happy New Year to you and all your listeners. I hope they all had a wonderful holiday.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about what to expect for the upcoming year? Are there things that...
Yeah, I think if you're thinking about the new year, you can rev up your vibration by looking for things that are most important to you. Maybe it's a time to get healthy again. Maybe diet, maybe exercise, maybe financial. You might want to look at where your finances are right now. You might think about investing in something. And I think the new year is like a new jump start for everybody. The old year is gone. Anything that was unhappy, you kind of put that to rest, and you open up the key for the new year with Baby New Year. And he kind of ushers you down the threshold, and you just try to find where your happiness lies, and you have to thine own self be true. I would tell people that.
Oh, what a nice message. And to tell folks, whatever kind of happened last year.
Yeah, try to learn from it. Try to learn from it, and just walk that stairway and say, you know what? I passed that step. I passed that bump. I've learned my lesson. Now what is out there for me? I have to find what's going to make me really happy.
That sounds good.
Yeah, thank you. I had mentioned to you earlier, I did want to briefly touch on something that's kind of close to a lot of people's thoughts right now, mind, body, and spiritual healing. And there's a great potential out there to take traditional medicine and traditional modalities and combine them with mind, body, and spirit. And I'm a big aficionado of going to your practitioner, your doctor, your chiropractor, your orthodontist, anybody that's doing your medical work. But there isn't a problem with also combining the vibration of mind, body, and spirit. And I wanted to mention someone in particular, and I think I gave you a little blurb on her, St. Catherine Drexel.
Yeah,
did you read it?
A little bit, yeah.
She was considered America's socialite saint, and I put the socialite saint in parentheses. It's not her true title, but the marvelous part about her is she was the daughter of the Drexel fortune in Pennsylvania, and at the age of 30 she decided to give up her fortune and take the money and open up the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament. And her work encompassed working with disabled children, orphans, black children, Indian children, and she passed away, I believe, in 1955 at the age of 96. Well, she was just canonized in the year 2000, October, and the reason of her canonization involved there were 3 children that were deaf, and the families were really at the last possible position. They didn't know what to do. They took a relic of St. Catherine and they put it on the ear area of the children. The children began to spontaneously hear again.
Really?
And that's the reason she was canonized. And so I think I've mentioned miracles before, and the miracle has to have several components. One of the issues is it is a human condition and there isn't anything to rectify it. The second part of it is you have sought medical intervention and there's really not too much they can do. And the third thing is you petition a saint or you petition a higher source to give you the healing, and when the healing is spontaneous and there is no human intervention, then it has to be considered something from the spirit world to help us get better. And I did want to mention that there are several instances at Lourdes, there's several instances at Fatima, there's several instances in Lourdes in France, and also in Medjugorje, which is over in Bosnia. I did want to show you this, and I know your listeners can't see it, but it's the miraculous medal. I'm not sure if you must know what that is. It's kind of very well known. It has a great reputation. And
this always comes around me.
Does it? Okay, that's
interesting.
And actually, since you had given me some information earlier, I think that's supposed to give you some good vibrations. The miraculous medal has a very interesting history, and it's connected to a lady by the name of Saint Catherine Labouré, and she was born in 1808, and I think she died in 1876. And when she was a young nun in a convent, there was a knock on her door in the middle of the night, and she opened the door, and there was an angel standing there, a very small child, very brightly, the halo was around the head, and she followed him to the chapel, and the Blessed Mother appeared to her, and the Blessed Mother said, "Please have a medal made in my honor, and it will have miraculous healings connected to it." It took her several years to finally achieve that, but it did become the medal of her convent, and she was a Sister of Charity. She became a nurse. And it has miraculous properties. And when they exhumed her, I believe in 1933, to beatify her, they were going to canonize her, she was incorrupt. She had not decayed. And I think I mentioned the book, The Incorruptibles. Yeah. She's in that book. But I saw this, and I fell in love with it. And it has her picture on the front. You can see Sister Catherine Labouré. And if you wear this, whatever faith you have, it is supposed to give you perhaps a closer vibration for a healing, either mind, body, or spirit. The reason I bring that up is I'm going to ask you listeners to assist me in an endeavor that I'm involved in.
Great.
And I've been speaking to a woman in England, a very lovely lady right outside of London. And I have met her a few times. She's a very dear friend's aunt. And her name is Georgina. And she's been told she's had some serious medical issues. And she asked if I might assist her. She's taking, traditional medicinal remedies, of course. And I happened to speak to her on the day before New Year's, during the day, not New Year's Eve, but the day of New Year's Eve. And while we were talking, I had her look at my website, and I told her a little bit about mind, body, and spirit, and she's very open to it. And I said, "This is really strange." I said, "I'm picking up an iris, like the flower, and it's one iris." I said, "Why am I seeing that?" So there was an intake of breath, and she said, "You're 3,000 miles away, my dear." And I said, "I know." And she said, "I went out yesterday to get note paper, notes to thank people for gifts for Christmas. The note paper I selected has one iris on the front of it." So she said, "I sat here writing all my notes today on paper that has an iris as the front page." And I said, "I think that bodes well for us." So I'm just going to ask you listeners to send good health to her, to think of her, and to just send the vibration out there to help her achieve her goal of healthiness for the new year. And the power of prayer is really, really kind of incredible. I think you're familiar with Billy Graham.
Oh, yeah.
And Billy Graham had an instance where there were some missionaries in, I believe it was in Africa, and they were pretty fearful of being attacked, and they asked Billy Graham to form a prayer circle to try to protect them. And what happened was they did not get hurt by anyone. And when they came home, the missionary went to Billy Graham, and he said, "I wanted to tell you, I spoke to the chieftain a few months after that almost attack on us, and he said that they had intended to rob them and hurt them, but he said there were 27 soldiers surrounding your camp, and nobody would go through because they were afraid." There were no soldiers that night. This family was just there as missionaries in Africa. And what Billy Graham said is, we had the prayer meeting on that very night that you're talking about, and there were 27 of us praying for your safety.
Interesting.
The power of prayer. So there you go.
I love that you bring all these great stories.
Oh, thank you.
Where would people find stories like that? I know you always come. I mean, folks should know that you're getting this stuff. Most of it,
I have different resources, and I read voluminously. So luckily, wherever I go, a flea market, a yard sale, the library, someplace that I might be doing an event at, somehow these things seem to find their way to me, and I'm sure that they're documented, and I wouldn't present anything. You can see they're all.
I know, I see.
They're all documented from the different sources. But I think that if you go online or you go to the bookstore, you'll find many instances of healings that have been bona fide and have been investigated, and that's the real way to ascertain that it really isn't somebody just saying, "I was very sick and all of a sudden I got better." You really have to have the documentation. I did want to mention my own mother. My mother was very, very ill in October of 2000, and she went into a coma. And I went out into the hallway, and I petitioned St. Catherine Drexel, and I said, "If you can help me and if you can bring her back to me, I will use the psychic mediumship in the intention that it was supposed to be, because I never really was that serious and professional about it. I just kind of knew it was there and I didn't develop it. My mother had had 2 strokes, a colostomy. She weighed 89 pounds. She was at death's door, and the doctors weren't too hopeful, and I said, just one more night. If you could just do this for one more night. And I stayed until 6 o'clock in the morning, and when I got home, the doctor called me about 6:45, and he said, can you come back? And I said, did I lose her? And he said, no. He said, your mother woke up about 5 minutes ago, and she's calling for you. I had her for another 5 years. So the date of her illness was October of 2000, and I lost her in July of 2004. So St. Catherine Drexel kept her promise to me, so I'm keeping my promise back to her. And I just invite...
I'm doing the work that you're doing.
I am, and I invite your audience to look up online any of the subject matter that we've discussed. They'll find out for themselves, and if they've had their own instances, I'm sure that they could share that with us if they call.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Let's give them the number, actually. The call-in number at the station is 781-837-4900. I'm talking with Linnea Starr, who is a psychic medium. And what's your website? I have it.
Yes, it's Linnea, Linnea STAR.com. And if you go into Google, it should come up quite readily for you. And I invite people to look at the testimonial pages, simply because people write into us. They send us pictures of the apports that they receive. If something comes through in the future for them, they do that also. And it's kind of a nice way to see what messages they're giving me after I've met with them and I've done the work that I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So an apport, in case folks don't know what that is.
An apport is when you are told you're going to receive something and you get it. A recent example, and I was explaining to a couple of your staff members, I was in Walmart right before Christmas. I think we all were. It's a great store.
Right.
And I saw a lady looking at me, and she looked familiar, and she came over and hugged me, and she said, I saw you a year ago. And I said, I remember you. And she said, you brought my daughter back. And I said, I remember. And she said, you gave me my daughter's nickname. We called her the Tasmanian Devil because she was a little Taz. And I said, and I think I told you that you had a tattoo of a Tasmanian Devil on the calf of your leg to honor her. And this woman is probably in her late 60s, early 70s, and she pulled up her jeans in the middle of the reading, and she pointed to the Tasmanian Devil on her calf. She said, my family knew about that. She said, some of my friends didn't know. She said, and now I know my beautiful daughter knows. So that was kind of cool.
Well, that's so great. Do you have a couple of events coming up?
I do. Actually, I'm doing some events in the Sunhawk in the Angel. That's in Melrose. It's on my website. I'm going to be there, I believe it's January 27th, doing one-on-one readings, and February 24th, doing one-on-one readings. I have a series of events coming up at Salem State. I do a monthly 4 sessions of evenings of messages. That's on the website. And I also do a program with the Marblehead Park and Rec Department called Psychic Sisters, and I'm there every second Thursday of the month, and that's on my website also.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds cool, Psychic Sisters.
It's fun. It is.
Is there a group of you? Or?
I had a couple of friends that do this work, and we started out together, but they have children, and it was kind of difficult for them to commit every second Thursday. So when they can, they do. Most of the time it's myself, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Oh, that sounds like a blast. I think we're getting a caller from Larry.
Great.
Larry's going to put them in. Oh, he said keep talking. Keep on talking.
There is something else that I wanted to mention, and it's from Billy Graham, and it was so poignant that I thought I had to share it with people. It's from a book called Hope for the Troubled Heart by Billy Graham. And he does a lot of crusades. I don't know if he's doing that many crusades now, but he did for many, many years. And he happened to have a crusade going on, and he had a mother who lost a son in the Desert Storm. And what was amazing about this was right before this gentleman went off to serve his country, he became engaged, and he found a new born-again faith. He found his faith that had been lacking. And he had 2 letters, and he gave one letter to his mother and one to the fiancé, and he said, just in case, these letters are for you. All right. Unfortunately, he was killed in combat, and the 2 women got together with the 2 letters, and they opened them together, And as they sat there and opened the letter, it said to the two of them, in case you have to open this, please don't worry, I am all right. Now I know something you don't know, what heaven is like. I just sat there fathoming how this wonderful boy left that message of eternity to this mother and to his beautiful bride-to-be. What a thoughtful, faithful gentleman. And, you know, there are people over there now serving us, and I just send them good wishes and good vibrations, and I hope they all come home soon safely.
Me too. We have a caller, Bob, on the line. How are you, Bob?
Very well, and yourself?
I'm doing great, and we're here with Linnea Starr, psychic medium, and she's going to pull some cards for you and ask you some questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And yourself?
Happy New Year. Have you ever done anything like this
Happy New
before?
Year to you,
thank you.
too.
Thank you so much. Have you ever done this before?
Yeah. I was going to relate a story
Yes,
to
go
you.
ahead. Thank you.
And my father was dying. He was 52 years old. He had kidney cancer. And he was up at the county hospital, and he was on the way out. And the priest came into the room while I was there. I was on the way up to visit my girlfriend, who eventually became my wife. And he went over to the bed, and he said, Mr. Baker, he says, do you want to go to confession and communion? And my father, who had made us get up and go to church every Sunday, said, no, thank you, Father.
Oh, my goodness.
And then God intervened, and that's the only way I can look at it, because in the length of time it took the priest to walk from the bed to the door, he was in a private room.
Right.
He said, Father, come back.
Oh, how wonderful.
And, of course, when I went home and told my mother that, she's deceased. She's been deceased since 93.
I'm sorry for your loss.
No. Hey, we all going to go there someday.
That's right.
And when I went home and told her that, she was just so elated, because she had been going to Fidelity, and we were brought up in South Boston at St. Monica's Church. And she was just absolutely astounded that had taken place.
And I'm sure it brought a lot of closure and a lot of peace to everyone, because that is such a spiritual connection, especially at that pivotal point in time. So that's wonderful. Bless him.
It is. It was a great story.
Who is James around you? Who is James?
Jane?
Who is James? James. James or Jim? Who is that?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I hear a child coming. Is someone telling you about a pregnancy recently?
Not that I know of.
All right. You're going to hear about a baby, a child. I hear the name James. And why are they giving me the month of February? What is the month of February to you?
It's nothing, really.
Well, is it a birthday, an anniversary, a passing?
No, it's not really anything to me.
Well, it says there's a baby coming around you, and the due date could have something to do in the month of February.
Oh, really?
That's what it's telling me.
Yeah.
Could be Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to find out what it's all about.
Yeah, and I think that story is really so beautiful. It's something tangible to hold on to. And I am going to pull a couple of cards for you, so if you can just bear with me. Here we go.
I'll listen.
All right. And what I pulled is the Ten of Swords, all right? So what that would tell me is whatever intentions you have, you stick to your guns. I'm not going to say you're stubborn, Bob, but it just says you have a mind of your own and you're tenacious in whatever it is you undertake. Could be your work, could be your relationships, but it's just telling me there's a nice connection around you, and when someone wants something done, you're the person that they'll seek out. They know that if they ask you to assist or to work on a project, it gets done, and usually with great success, so that's kind of nice. Why do I see money around you? Are you working right now? Are you getting a raise at all?
No, I'm not working, but I do have money.
Okay, well, that's good, my kind of man, and if you want to go out and buy one of those scratch tickets, I see there could be some kind of luck around you, and I'm not going to say it's the $1 million jackpot. That doesn't work like that. But your dad is telling me to tell you, look for lucky sevens. If you can look for something with a lucky 7 on it, it looks like there could be something there, and that's just a New Year's connection from him. And why does he say Francis? Who is that?
Francis, I don't know. I had an uncle who was Frank, and he died.
then maybe he's trying to tell us that he's with Frank on the other side. And I picked one more card for you, and it's the Page of Pentacles, and it's a gentleman holding a star. And his hat is very red, and when I see the hat with the red on it, that means life. That's telling me that whatever you're doing this year, the star would ensure success, and it would be success in your life, because the hat is the first thing that I picked up on. So thank you so much for calling, and please call us back and let us know if you hit the jackpot.
I will.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
I'll send you something.
Thank you. That's not necessary. What a nice guy. Take care.
That was interesting. Frank, they don't put the connections together at first. I think after they hang up the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe that could have been.
It's funny. It's ironic, because I will get a phone call the next morning, and the person will say, "Oh, after you left, we sat down, we listened to the tape." And it's so monumentally overpowering sometimes. You can't assimilate all of it, so sometimes that's part of it. And I don't know if we have another caller. I don't think so.
We might go to a short break now,
okay.
But when we come back in, I'm urging people to call in 781-837-4900 for your New Year psychic reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
give us a call. We'll be right back with a short break.
Thank you.
Where did I come from? Where am I going? Books of wisdom give answers on topics such as life after death, the journey of the soul. This small booklet answers the 75 most frequently asked questions, which are as old as mankind. To order it, contact The Word, the Universal Spirit, at 1-800-846-2691. Check out the website, universal-spirit.cc. Information about activities and events in the Boston area are also available at 1-800-846-2691. Back and neck pain, headaches, and many structural problems plague millions of Americans. Dr. John P. Hayes, Jr. of Norwell is offering free spinal checkups and postural analysis for early detection of back problems in adults, children, and adolescents. With the use of a few simple painless tests, the doctor will be able to determine if chiropractic may help you. Early detection of back problems is the best prevention for future back ailments. The spinal screening will be offered without charge or obligation at the office, and the doctor will be able to consult with you regarding possible treatment options. Appointment times are limited, so please call today, 781-659-7989. Dr. Hayes' advanced training as a chiropractic orthopedist offers patients a unique opportunity to enter into a healthcare partnership with a highly experienced, caring professional. Health Solutions Group, 353 Washington Street. That's Route 53 in Norwell. Call for your free appointment today. 781-659-7989. That's 781-659-7989.
Hi, this is Phil and Marco from Terra Allegra Imports. If you're still cooking your fresh and healthy foods on chemically coated or metal cookware, we urge you to start experiencing the lifestyle benefits of cooking with the 1870 collection non-toxic terracotta cookware brought to you by Terra Allegra Imports. This Italian-made artisan quality line of cookware is available in an array of colors and sizes. It is made for use on stovetops, ovens, microwaves, and is dishwasher safe.
Our product is produced by one of the oldest and renowned manufacturers of terracotta in Liguria, Italy. The 1870 collection by Piral is the true green alternative being sought by the consumer today, not only in its raw materials, but in the absence of harmful byproducts in the process of manufacturing. Most importantly, less energy is required due to the great heat conductivity of this fine terracotta. Available at our retail partners near you.
Home Spirits, Hanover. The Cabinetry, Hanover. Tutto Italiano, Hyde Park. Ponzano Tuscan Market, Southborough. The Concord Shop, Concord. All Cape Cook Supply, Hyannis. Cape Cod Cookery, Centerville. G Green Design Center, Mashpee. And online at cookware.com.
All right, we're back, and we're here with Linnea Starr, and we're going to take Nancy. Caller Nancy.
Hi, Nancy, is that you? Hi, Nancy, are you there?
Number one. Oh, Diana. Middleborough.
Hi,
yes, hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you? We're trying to read the...
Have you been listening to the show?
I just started to about 20 minutes ago. I'm on my way home from work.
Oh, thank you. Have you ever done this before?
Yeah, not on the radio.
Okay, that's all right. They are going to have me pull a couple of cards for you. And why am I seeing a hospital around you? Does someone work in a hospital? Is someone waiting for medical news?
I'm not quite sure.
All right, well, it's good medical news then. If I see a hospital, it usually means there's good medical news coming. And the card that I pulled is the 10 of Wands, and that would be a relationship card. Are you in a relationship currently?
Yes.
All right, well, what it says is, if you look, there's 10 wands there, and they're all flourishing. So would it tell me that by October there is something special around this relationship? So are you married presently?
Married, yeah.
All right, well, then there could be financial success, or there could just be something the two of you might be doing together, and it just says show the fruition. So you're getting the 10 of Wands, which just means by October there will be some kind of financial stability. And why are they showing me Canada around you? Why do I see the country of Canada?
My company was taken over a year ago by a group in Canada, so my corporate office is in Canada.
All right, so you have a connection to Canada. And why do they say Michael around you? Who is Michael?
Brother.
Hey, well, there you go. And where is your dad? Is your dad on the earth plane?
Yes.
All right, because they're saying the medical news is successful. It's good medical news. It could be just going and having a checkup and everything is great and everything is fine. So they're just saying if there's an older gentleman, and I don't mean old, I'm just saying another generation, it just says good news around this person. And why are they saying John? Who is John?
I have an Uncle John.
All right, John. They're saying speak of John. And why are they showing me the state of Virginia?
Possibly my son. He's in the military.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So he's there in Virginia now?
Right now he's in South Carolina.
All right. Well, there could be a transfer or some connection to him going to Virginia. It could have something to do with his connections to the military. And why are they telling me to say Thomas? Who is Thomas?
I have a cousin, Thomas,
all right,
and I have a grandfather that passed away, Tom.
I think that's who it is. Thomas is telling me that everybody will be okay. And why does he say Madeline? Madeline. Who is that?
I have my mother's Mary Lou.
All right, well, actually, Madeline's going to mean something to you. How old is your son?
My oldest son, 20.
All right, well, I'm hearing down the road, it's not tonight and it's not tomorrow morning, but there's going to be a child around you named Madeline or Madeline, so listen for that name as the years come to pass. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
We'll take one more, Nancy.
Nancy, hi. Are you on the line? Hello?
How about Doreen?
Doreen's here.
Doreen.
Happy New Year.
Is this my Doreen?
Doreen, no, I don't believe I know.
Because I have someone very special to me that was going to listen to the program tonight, and you sound just like her, so you have to hang up. No, I'm teasing. It's one of my favorite names. But, thank you so much for calling. Have you done this before?
Yes, I've been to.
Okay, you've been to people. All right, so
yes,
you're kind of familiar with it. That's all right. Yes. Why are they showing me Australia? Why are they showing me the country of Australia?
Oh, I have no idea.
Someone's going to be going.
I'd like to visit there someday.
All right. Well, it says within the next year to 15 months there could be news of Australia around you. And why did they say Linda?
Linda's one of my best friends.
All right. Would she go to Australia with you?
Let's ask her.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure she would if I was interested in going.
All right. Well, I'm hearing if this comes to be that Linda could have a pivotal part in part of this. And why are they saying Paul? Who is Paul?
Oh.
Pauline, Paulette. Who is that?
Oh, no one.
That's all right. Just listen for that name. Mm-hmm. And I did pick a card, and it's a man and woman in a boat. It's the boat of life. So are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
All right, well, it says show the boat of life, and it says you're soulmates, and you met each other. It probably was love at first sight. And they're also showing me Sedona, Arizona. Why am I seeing that?
That's another place I want to go to.
Hey,
my husband and I have been talking about that.
All right. Actually, to be honest with you, I think the Sedona trip is going to happen first for some reason, because I think that's your soulmate's connection. I think you're going to find a lot of connections out there. It's a really spiritual place. And why did they say Stephen? Stephanie, Stephen, who is that?
Oh, Stephanie is my son's girlfriend.
Hey, well, there you go. How old is your son?
He's 18.
All right, well, it just says a nice relationship with this lovely girl. And I think,
what a connection.
Yeah, so let us know about Sedona, let us know about Australia, and Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Tune in. Linnea Starr will be back with us February 3rd, March 2nd, April 6th. This is Metaphysical Messages with Linnea Starr, psychic medium, bringing us wonderful messages of past, present, and future. Check out her website, www.linneastar.com. That's LINNEASTAR.com. Her phone number is 978-549-7802. And our next guest is on the line with us. I think we're going to go right into her because we're running out of time. I'm going to introduce our next guest. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we don't have to whisper, right?